This is the brand audit for the Shakespeare Theatre Company for business storytelling and brand development. The Shakespeare Theatre Company in Washington, D.C. is one of the nation's leading classic regional theaters. Begun in 1986 at the Folger Shakespeare Library, they moved into their own space in 1992, the Landsberg Theater with 451 seats. In 2007, they opened a second larger space, the Sidney Harmon Hall, with 774 seats. Today, in their 25th season, the Harmon Center for the Arts consists of both theaters, as well as numerous community and educational programs. Called a critical and popular success by the New York Times, they've covered other classical playwrights such as Euripides, George Bernard Shaw, Oscar Wilde, Eugene O'Neill, Henrik Ibsen, and Tennessee Williams. It's been said that the Shakespeare Theatre is the nation's foremost Shakespeare company, according to the Wall Street Journal, and the region's most dynamic theater from the Washington Post. They've also won more Helen Hayes Awards, DC's version of the Tonys, than any other theater. Both theater spaces are located in the historic Penn Quarter area of DC in Chinatown, 2 blocks away from each other. The neighborhood is both residential and commercial. There are museums, galleries, nightclubs, and other theaters, making the area a center for art and entertainment. Sidney Harmon Hall is directly across the street from the Verizon Center, a 2,000-seat arena that hosts concerts, performances, and 4 separate professional sports teams, including the NHL's Washington's Capitals. The logo used by the Shakespeare Theatre Company is a letter form used alongside the word mark of the company name. The letter form is a red, stylized S in the negative space of a white background, followed by the Shakespeare name in capitalized block lettering. The red and white style emphasizes the passion and simplicity of their branding and company style. This is a simple and classy style similar to other competing DC theaters such as the Studio Theater, Signature Theater, and Arena Stage. In DC, all use simple wordmark logos, just depicting their company names. The brand message speaks to consumers about being the premier destination for the best Shakespearean and classical theater in the country. They want to be known and remembered as the top quality theater, the first choice in art and entertainment. Their vision is laid out specifically on their website. The Shakespeare Theatre Company endeavors to be an important resource to an expanded national and international community. As the nation's premier destination for classic theater, as a training ground for the next generation of theater artists, and as a model provider of high-quality educational content for students and scholars. Their vision is that they believe in staging classic plays with world-class production values, in building a more diverse audience for their theater, in fostering an appreciation for classical theater through their education programs, in using cutting-edge technology to share their work with people around the world, and in encouraging a synergy of arts and ideas by developing collaborative programming with other institutions. STC interacts with their audience through a variety of ways. They offer volunteer opportunities in ushering, administration, artistic, education, and marketing and PR in return for 10% discounts in the gift shop and on all acting classes at the theater. The STC student ambassadors post flyers on their campuses, share special offers through email and social media, volunteer at special events like street fairs, and may even write reviews for their school newspapers. In return, they receive free tickets and invitations to exclusive networking events. Shakespeare Theatre can also be followed on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Shakespeare Theatre is a major part of the DC theater community. Happenings at the Harmon, established in 2007, provides local residents with the opportunity to view free performances from musicians, dancers, puppeteers, and smaller local theater companies, including the Family Week session in December, geared towards a younger audience. Their educational program provides arts education to all ages. Workshops, tours, career advice, Internships and fellowships are all offered to the public. Adult and youth acting classes are taught to amateurs and professional actors alike. Camp Shakespeare is a 2- and 3-week intensive program for teenagers. Teen Critic helps high school students interested in journalism and writing to attend performances and meet with professional theater critics. Creative Conversations and Asides Live both promote symposiums to deeply examine the themes and meaning behind the plays being staged each season. Shakespeare Theater also participates in numerous community festivals and street fairs in the DC metro area throughout the year. The target market for Shakespeare is the artistic community of downtown DC. They frequently market to local neighborhood events in the Penn Quarter area, such as street fairs like Arts on Foot and the Barracks Row Festival. They're also trying to reach out to other residents of DC that might not have as much access to cultural events. The Free for All program, started in 1991, offers free performances of one Shakespeare play a year, attracting more than 560,000 DC residents since its first year. Students for Shakespeare provides transportation to thousands of public school students for the Free for All performances, as well as free t-shirts and books. Being in the Chinatown area and surrounded by museums, STC also markets to Washington tourists. The Shakespeare Theater has close to 50 full-time administrative employees at any given time, roughly another 80 working in marketing and communications, 30 in education, and 70 on the actual productions. Shakespeare is very well funded and pays its employees higher than the average DC theater, as well as providing the best resources, workspace, and equipment of any theater in Washington. The resident acting company consists of some of DC's finest actors, including guest performers such as Helen Mirren, Howell Holbrook, Stacy Keach, Marsha Mason, and Patrick Stewart. All of the employees that interact with the public in the gift shop or the box office are courteous and helpful. Shakespeare partners several times a year with DC political figures. Will on the Hill, an annual benefit every spring, brings senators, congressmen and women, and Washington leaders onto the stage to perform Shakespearean scenes with references to current politics. The annual Mock Trial features DC lawyers and judges arguing a fictional trial from situations taken from classic plays. Last year's even included Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg presiding over the trial. There's a yearly panel on Shakespeare and the law as well, to examine legal issues in Shakespeare's plays. STC also sponsors nearby restaurants and hotels like the Capitol Hill Suites and several DC Courtyard Marriotts in order to market to tourists. In 2010, Sidney Harmon Hall hosted an episode of The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Shakespeare Theater does not yet utilize mobile marketing, preferring for the moment to leave cell phones out of the theater. In the future, they could provide some parts of their educational guides that are already sold at the theater for patrons interested in mobile marketing. An educational guide for students attending the free-for-all performances includes a synopsis of the play, director's notes, discussion questions, and word games that would easily fit into a mobile application. The Shakespeare Theater Company's mission statement is, "The mission of the Shakespeare Theater Company is to present classic theater of scope and size in an imaginative, skillful, and accessible American style that honors the playwright's language and intentions while viewing their work through a 21st century lens." Thank you.